Hi, I'm Gary the Water Guy, and I own the water store in Midland, Ontario. Today we're talking about how to winterize your water softener. Now the only reason you'd want to do that is to keep it from freezing because you probably have planned to shut off all the heat in your cottage over the winter time. So in actual fact, you can't winterize a water softener. There's so many nooks and crannies inside that if water froze inside there, it would cause considerable damage to the water softener. So really what you need to do is you need to remove it for the winter months. Take it somewhere warm where it's not going to freeze. May sound difficult, but actually it's not, especially if you have a water softener with a WS1 valve on it like this one here, and it's a two-piece water softener. They're actually pretty easy to do, to remove for the winter. So let's go through the procedure and I'll show you how. So the first thing you need to do to start is press the regen button and get it going into a regen cycle. Okay? So after holding the button down for 5 seconds, you can hear the motor start up, and then you'll hear, and you might actually see through a clear drain line, water flowing to the drain. As you can see it flowing to the drain, then what you need to do is bypass it. So you flip these two arrows, so now it's bypassed. So now you hear water stop flowing to the drain. So next thing you would do is you would advance it through the rest of the cycles and bring it back to the home position, in service position. And you'll know when you get there because it'll show the current time. Okay? So once you've done that, then you can unplug it electrically, and then we can disconnect the rest of it. So if you look here, you can see that there's a few connections here. So this is the drain connection. So take a bucket, put it nearby, because especially if your drain line goes up, you may have some water leaking out when you disconnect it. So you remove this C-clip here. The drain line will come out and a bit of water will flow out. Okay, so that disconnects it from the drain. So set that aside. So now you want to disconnect the brine line from the brine tank. So to do that, you pull out this C-clip. Again, have the bucket nearby, and any water that's in here, you want to drain it out, but you also want to hold this down to make sure any water that's in this line flows out and doesn't freeze in the line. So once we've done that, then the brine tank that actually has the salt in it, if there's any water sitting on top of the salt, scoop that out, and then the rest of the water and salt, just stir it up really well. That won't freeze over the winter time, so you can leave the brine tank in the cottage over the winter time without worrying of it freezing. So then to disconnect the water softener, all that's really left at this point is to disconnect it from the plumbing. This is the bypass here. So all you have to do is unscrew the bypass by removing these two nuts. And then this stays attached to the plumbing. You just move the water softener out and you're disconnected. So with your bucket nearby, you'd lean it over like this to drain out as much of the water as you can in the cottage. And then you'd carry this outside, lay it on its back, drain the rest of the water out, and load it in your car and take it home, and store it in your home over the winter time so it won't freeze. In the spring, when it's time to reconnect, then you just bring it back, go through the exact same process in reverse order, put 3 or 4 gallons in with the salt in here, press the regen button, put it back into service, and you're good to go for another season. If you like what you saw today, please subscribe to my videos on my YouTube channel. Just hit the subscribe button. Lots of videos on there, and you can check them out for yourself. Or you can check out my website, www.thewaterstoremidland.com. And again, I'm Gary the Water Guy from the Water Store in Midland, Ontario. Thanks for watching.